learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into October 26, 2020, and the stock market is going to go crazy this week. If there was any week to go crazy, it is going to be this week. You have the biggest earnings, the 5 biggest companies in the world, Facebook, Amazon, all those guys, they're going to be reporting. But then we only have one more full trading week until the election. So it brings up a few things. I have some interesting plays, even some election winners and losers, but we also have to talk about setting up for earnings. So I think it's going to be an exciting week. I hope you guys are ready. I got the plays for you. I got the keys. Everything else we're looking at for tomorrow and the rest of the week. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes for openness. The first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the-stock-market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, if you want to know what it would be like if you traded using the YouTube comment section, well, we are the place to be. It's almost 1 year since the random account was created. So hopefully we see you guys on stream. But if you are here right now as well, it is Sunday. Every Sunday, what we ask from you guys is you post a random option trade below specific strike, expiration, and date under $100. Hopefully you get some time on it. But we take a random play, we buy it, and we've documented it. So it's almost been 1 year. We started this account with $500. So post a play. Shout out to everybody who has posted a play, and get ready to see kind of the performance of this. You got really 2 more months left, or a month and a half, so I hope you're ready. But right off the bat, the first thing is it is a huge earnings week. So we have all of those big companies. Not only are you going to get Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Boeing, Shopify, Spotify, the list actually just keeps going. Starbucks, it's really, really going to be a lot of companies. So I have all of them outlined for you guys. I even have the ones that I think could kind of surprise. We'll go over that. I have that in the plays as well. But this is going to be a big earnings week. So you saw how last week operated. We want to watch for kind of this same push and pull effect. And now with all of this political news, but also this election, it's just going to be very, very key watching this. So if anything, this week just has a lot of potential, but we will see whether or not earnings helps unleash that. But the earnings is going to be a big, big focus. Then you are going to get the SCOTUS confirmation. So that's kind of been happening on in the background. We'll see if that has any effect before or after. I think it's going to be a minor factor for now, but I still want to just keep that one in mind. But we are also going to get stimulus news. Now, the key is going to be seeing how that weighs on the market given what we saw last week and given the fact that the deadlines passed. Pretty much the fact that they didn't get anything pushed forward last week. I've personally, it's my opinion, I've came to the conclusion we're not going to see anything before election, and I think the market is reacting even a little bit too. I believe futures are even down right now coming into the open, but we will see tomorrow morning. But watch for any stimulus news specifically, that if it moves the market or if you see it kind of react, if it's any nature bombshell, it changes the situation we have. Otherwise, the question is, has the market already kind of responded to it? That's why it's not budging. So that's going to be very, very important this week considering how we've seen it, and we're just getting ready to wrap this all up here with the election and the end of the year. So there's that. As far as everything else this week, it's only going to be like GDP data from the United States. There will be some personal income numbers. If you guys remember, we had that econ lesson last week. So you're going to get some interesting global macro data on the U.S. that could be helpful, but there's nothing going to be too crazy. There is going to be stuff like Brexit that could develop, but it's not going to be the big focus. If anything, even overseas, a lot of people are going to be looking at our earnings and how do some of our big giants perform. This is the time we want to look out for the Grim Reaper, but there isn't going to be any other economic data or anything too crazy to push the markets this week, so we have our work cut out for us. But as far as the companies now that are reporting, here is the list. This is not an entire list. If you guys want to post companies below, let me know what you're playing, what you're looking at, but this isn't the full list. I kind of picked and choose, and this is what's crazy because this is me picking and choosing from all the companies that are reporting, but there's so many that I'm even still leaving some out. So a lot of the action is going to begin on Tuesday. In the morning, you're going to get Pfizer, Caterpillar, 3M, RTX, Novartis, Eli Lilly, JetBlue, Hog, Sherwin-Williams, Polaris. I put some of these that I like Polaris, Crocs. That one will just be interesting. We've seen how it moved, but those are going to be in the morning. And then Tuesday, the first big company is going to be Microsoft. So we'll talk about them when we get to the plays, but I like them a lot. But that should have the ability to start moving thing again. Monday earnings before and after market. Again, you can't set up for anything tomorrow if you haven't. And there's only like 20 companies, but everything kicks off pretty much Tuesday after hours because then next you're going to get AMD, Dexcom, ACAM, FireEye, TWOU, First Solar, Juniper, and Mozzie. That's Tuesday. So kind of light a little bit, but Microsoft will be the one to watch. Then on Wednesday in the morning, you're going to get Boeing, UPS, General Electric, MasterCard, Anthem, General Dynamics, Yandex, ADP, Sony, CME, Fiat, Bungie, and again, there's a few other bigger names that I left out on there, but these are the ones that I like for Wednesday. After hours, you're going to get Fastly, Etsy, Visa, Guild, eBay, Ford, Pinterest, TDoc, Livongo, ServiceNow, WDC, Grub, Amgen, O'Reilly, Cree, United Rentals, Sprouts, SunPower, Molina Health, and Texas Roadhouse. So Wednesday, it starts to really get picked up, but the biggest company there is pretty much the ones that report in the morning, and then after hours, you're not getting the same thing. And then Thursday is the big day. If anything, as we even start setting up for plays this week, I am going to be aiming around Thursday because you really do just get the powerhouse of earnings on Thursday. So in the morning, you're going to get Shopify, Myrna, Home, Spot, RCL, Kraft Heinz, Bud, Nokia, Penn National Gaming, Comcast, Ralph Lauren. That says Yup, but that should be Yum Brands. Alexion, Dunkin' Donuts, Kellogg's, ConocoPhillips, and then after hours, that is the big boys. You get Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Activision, Twitter, Google, Starbucks, MGM, Team, Vertex, MVIS, CVNA, Shack, FTNT, Skechers, Cake, United Steels, Weight Watchers, Illumina, SYK, and then Mohawk. So Thursday's where it's really going to happen. Friday, I didn't really cover. I believe there's going to be a few, but I mean, we'll see how the first couple days of earnings do, because pretty much however these play out will dictate now a lot moving forward into the election and if anything else crazy happens from there. So it is going to be exciting. I hope you're ready for earnings. I hope you remember the strategy of playing small from last week, and I hope you're ready to execute. But that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I have a few different plays. I have surprisers. Maybe I'll go over these ones because these are the ones that I just think could move crazy. Like you saw last week, there was like Align Technologies. We saw Snapchat. There was 30% movers. Another thing we've learned from last week with earnings season is that some of these contracts at the IV, they may be pricing in decent sized moves, but the market maker has been right more often than not. But in the instances the market maker was wrong, it hasn't been a slight wrong. It hasn't been like, oh, they're off by a little bit, the stock shoots up 10%. No, it's been the market maker, the expectations, everything's crazy. The stocks are going up 30%. So I want to take advantage of the small contracts, keep that in mind. And then these are the type of companies that I'm kind of looking for in the sense of which ones could really, really surprise. So if you guys have any earnings surprisers this week, post them below as well. But I like Ralph Lauren, I like ServiceNow, Dexcom, WDC, and Starbucks. Those are the ones that I think could have big surprises. Again, bigger names. We've played all of these companies before. We've seen surprises, but we don't necessarily know if it's going to play out like that. So these are the ones I'm going to be watching. I like those as far as kind of now strategic earnings plays, looking even for Grim Reapers or just in the nature of the trend. And that's going to be the key. That's why I like Microsoft a lot, because those leaps we have are down a lot and it looks really attractive to me. But the thing I don't like about Microsoft is they're going to be the first to report here on Tuesday after hours. So they're going to kind of be the dictator. So being the leader, they have that advantage and disadvantage that we won't really get to be able to read the rest of the market or the big players. So I like Microsoft. I'm still holding the play, the exact leap that we're holding. And that's what I'm saying. They're down 45%. If you guys remember, we got these a few weeks ago, and this will even lead into the next play, but I'm still holding those 285 calls for January. A little further out there, those lost a lot of value, but now let's come back down to the Apple. That's the next play I want. These leaps adjusted, and now these are down 30%, but you guys remember literally last week or like a week and a half ago, there was like a little run up. These were fluctuating a lot. We were up like 60, 70%. So all that's telling me is that a lot of expectations are moving around. So there was high expectations on both of these stocks. Again, they're some of your favorites, and now the way that they've been kind of fluctuating leading into the earnings, that's what I want to look for in terms of opportunity. So there's that. I am still even holding that Spotify leap play, and that one actually ended up going up 119%. So you guys remember we started establishing these leaps, but I like these as my earnings play. I have old Amazon puts as well too, but the idea with all of this is going to be taking advantage of both short-term contracts, if depending on the price and how much it's going to cost to play earnings, or if you could set up really, really cheap with time, those are going to be the ones I like. So those are going to be your first three plays. Apple and Microsoft are what we're going to be focusing on. I will look Facebook as well as Amazon too. The question is kind of getting a little bit more insight from the other earnings, or if we could see really, really good prices right off the bat, we'll take them. But besides that, I'm going to look for some of those other surprises that we called out, and then everything else in the market, there's just going to be a lot here. So out of all those companies, like I said, I like RL. I will be watching them very, very closely. There's Dunkin' Brands. They report, I believe in the morning on Wednesday or Thursday, but after hours or even today, they got talks about getting taken private or about somebody making a bid on them. So that one actually might move tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. I like the Shopify Spotify's. Again, those Spotify leaps are already up. That's what kind of has my attention. I think that's interesting because if you notice, you're right back up to some of these certain levels, but now the stock has already been here, but the contract premiums are increasing. So there's a lot of expectations in this Spotify. I want to see how that plays out, even a pre-run up too. Same thing with Shopify as well. They look very, very similar. I like both of those. Again, watch your FANG stocks. I like Starbucks a lot as well too. So again, I like Ralph Lauren. I like Starbucks. I kind of like some of the bigger names, but some of these are really, really slow movers as well too. So Starbucks may not. We've been holding some of those contracts leading into earnings. They have not valued very good at all. So watch them though, but Starbucks, big company. I'm going to keep my eye on there. Microsoft, like we said. Boeing, I did make a play on Friday. They had news that like their software was not inadequate, but I think it was relating to a different plane. I thought it could have clapped them there. You could kind of see the move, and I think it ended up shooting up after hours, but I grabbed 10 of the October 30th 148 puts at 58 cents. So hopefully I'll be able to flip out of these tomorrow unless it actually turns into a new situation. But the idea would be make some of these free and at least get to hold some till earnings. That's the only thing that saved me is those contracts get to play earnings. So watch Boeing, DraftKings as well. I say this because Penn National Gaming, I think they report Wednesday or Thursday morning. So depending on how they do, that might give us a signal here and that could affect the stock. So watch them. Watch Uber. We talked about it in the long-term video. I like it, but they're coming up into earnings. I don't think they're reporting this week. So I want to see how it plays, but over the weekend, we did get some updates on the whole driver California appeal situation, so I want to see how that plays out. Then Twitter, I'm surprised it keeps going up, and I think they're going to have a pivotal quarter here. I think with what we saw with Snapchat, depending on the report for Twitter, it could even make it or break it for them too. So I think Twitter is actually in a very, very interesting spot here, so I want to see how this plays out and even check the premiums and pricing coming into that, so watch them. And then finally, this is going to be your election winner. So it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get a play on this. I probably don't think I will. I don't really like them. I even have those old plays that are down a lot. But the thing that catches my eye here, gold hasn't really moved a lot, but it does make a lot of intuitive sense coming into the election. Again, one more week. You do get some positioning around election when it comes to commodities and how people may react depending on what happens. So I think gold will be the winner, and that's something that hasn't moved a lot. We should be getting ready to see. The dollar has moved and TLT a little bit, but the gold I think is going to be important coming into the election, and I hope you're ready for the election, and I hope you're ready for this week. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to not forget to not talk yourself out of it. Shut your mouth. Do yourself a favor. Positive thoughts, positive balance. Control the budget. Control the balance. It's earnings. Don't go too crazy. Play it small, but the code loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the morning. Let's go.